Well, after years of relative quiet, Quebec is once again figuring prominently on the national political stage. A snap election is just days away here, and polls are suggesting that the Separatist Party Québécois is poised to win a majority government. And it's that very election that could kill or at least seriously delay one of the most controversial pieces of legislation in this country, doctor-assisted suicide. It's been debated here in Quebec for years, in fact, debated right across the country. So was it all for naught? Well, earlier I spoke with the minister responsible for this bill, Véronique Yvon from Quebec City. And Madam Minister, thanks very much for joining us this morning. I appreciate your time. Can I just ask you this? You were very emotional when the Liberal Party of Quebec would not give its consent to allow this bill to pass before you took the 2-week break. Did this become personal for you?
No, I would say that it's become an issue that all Quebec population is really following, because a very vast majority of citizens in Quebec are hoping for this bill to pass. We've been having this dialogue, this discussion with the citizens in Quebec for more than 4 years now. We've been going throughout Quebec in 8 different cities to hear what people had to say about this issue of end-of-life care. So yes, it was a big disappointment, but not as much for me, but as much as for the whole process and for all the hopes and the confidence that the people who came to us put into us and into the process.
As you know, Minister, right across this country, this is a very emotional issue, a very personal issue for a lot of people. Can we just delve into one specific of your bill, and that is who has the right under your legislation or proposed legislation to ask for end of life?
Yeah, well, it's very strictly provided for. It's for people who are full of age, who are sound of mind, capable of making a sound decision, who have an incurable illness that is a very serious one, who are at the end of life, also who are in a very advanced state of incapability, that is a very advanced state of decline and of irreversible decline, for whom there is no issue. I mean, there is, in French we say issue, I mean there is no perspective of improvement in their situation, and who also have unbearable, intolerable, and constant suffering that cannot be alleviated. So it is strictly for those people, and the person himself or herself has to ask for it in a repeated manner and for himself or herself. So it cannot be the spouse, the child, the mother, the friend who asks. It has to be the person himself or herself.
You must be aware that Federal Justice Minister Peter MacKay has commented on this bill and has basically said that the Supreme Court has rendered its decision about end of life. The Parliament of Canada has rendered its decision. Are you worried that this may end up in a constitutional fight if this bill goes forward?
Really, we're very confident, because our whole approach, like I said, is one that is based on care, on end-of-life care, and on our Quebec jurisdiction, provincial jurisdiction over health matters, and throughout all the work we've been doing, we've had a legal experts committee that was set up, the Quebec Bar also, the notaries, and everybody said that our constitutional basis, the legal point of view, the legal perspective we were taking was totally constitutional. So we're really confident about our jurisdictional basis.
Let me ask you about a political angle here, because this bill was delayed. There's speculation rife that your government is about to call a snap election within the next 10 days, so your bill may not even see the light of day for some time. What can you tell us about the speculation of a snap election in Quebec?
Oh, really? I don't know. There are rumors, of course. We are in a minority government, so everything can happen at any time. So, of course, the chances are very high. But this is exactly why we wanted to secure this bill over the last 2 weeks, to make sure that we could have the vote before the budget was tabled, to make sure that it was protected.
Sort of sounds to me as if you're telling everybody, stand by, something's about to happen.
I'm just saying, don't be cynical. There has been such an amazing non-partisan process in the past 4 years. I'm sure that we will work this through and we will have this bill become a law sooner than later.
Minister Véronique Yvon, thank you very much for taking the time to talk to us today. I appreciate it.
Thank you for your interest.